car pulled into a driveway lined with flowers that looked like a rainbow had spilled onto the lawn. He was in sunny Florida, at his grandparents' house. Grandma squeezed him in a hug that smelled like cinnamon and sunshine, and Grandpa's laugh rumbled like a friendly giant. Florida felt different from his home in the city. The air was thick and sweet, and the palm trees swayed like they were dancing to a secret song. "Go on up to the guest room, sweetie," Grandma said, her smile as bright as the Florida sun. "Get settled in." But Michael wasn't interested in settling in. He was an explorer, and this house was a whole new land to discover. He tiptoed past the living room, where Grandpa was dozing in his favorite comfy chair, and crept up the creaky wooden stairs. At the top was a door he'd never opened before. It led to the attic. The attic was a treasure trove of forgotten things. Dust motes danced in the single beam of light filtering through a small round window. There were old rocking chairs, stacks of books and clothes that looked like they belonged in a black and white movie. In the corner, tucked under a cozy quilted blanket, was a giant wooden trunk with a rusty latch. Michael's heart beat a little faster. This looked promising. With a little grunt, he lifted the heavy lid. Inside, it smelled of old paper and cedarwood. He saw his mom's baby pictures, a collection of seashells, and then he saw it. Rolled up and tied with a faded red ribbon was a piece of paper that looked ancient. It was brittle and yellowed, like a dried leaf. Michael carefully untied the ribbon and unrolled the paper. It was a map. A real-life treasure map. An X marked a spot right in the middle, and a wiggly line snaked its way across the paper, past drawings of familiar shapes. There was a big, fluffy tree, a circle of round orange dots, and a funny little bridge. Michael's eyes grew wide with excitement. Treasure! Right here at Grandma and Grandpa's house. He had to find it. He tiptoed back down the stairs, clutching the map tightly. He slipped out the back door into the sprawling yard. The sun was warm on his shoulders. He looked at the map, then at the yard. The first landmark was a giant, shady tree. He saw it right away. A massive oak tree with branches that reached out like welcoming arms. Spanish moss hung from its limbs like a long, gray beard. According to the map, he had to walk straight past it. With the confidence of a seasoned explorer, Michael marched past the old oak. His next clue was a glowing grove. He looked around. To his left, he saw rows of trees. As he got closer, he realized they were orange trees. Ripe round oranges hung from the branches like hundreds of tiny suns, glowing in the afternoon light. The air smelled sweet and citrusy. Michael picked an orange that felt warm from the sun. It was the most perfect orange he had ever seen. He put it in his pocket for later, a little treasure from his journey. The map now showed a squiggly line over water. He followed the path, his sneakers crunching on the grass, until he came to a small creek that gurgled happily. A little wooden bridge arched over it, just like in the drawing. As he stepped onto the bridge, he heard a series of little ribbits. He peeked over the side and saw a family of green frogs sunbathing on lily pads, their throats puffing out as they sang their froggy songs. "Hello, guardians of the bridge," Michael whispered with a grin. He felt like he was in a real fairy tale. He crossed the bridge and checked his map again. The path led him behind Grandpa's tool shed, a place he'd never thought to explore. It was a secret corner of the yard, hidden from view. Wildflowers grew in patches of purple and yellow, and a friendly lizard did a little push-up on a rock, as if to say hello. As if to say hello. And a friendly lizard to say hello. And a friendly lizard did a little push-up on a rock, as if to say hello. As if to say hello. As if to say hello. The map showed a final turn, a dotted line that curled back toward the house. This was it. He was getting close. He followed the dotted line, his heart thumping with anticipation. It led him around the side of the house, past Grandma's rose bush that smelled like perfume. The path took him all the way to the front yard, right back where he started. He stopped, confused. The X on the map was pointing right at the little patch of grass next to the front porch steps. Could the treasure be buried here? He knelt down and looked closer. Tucked away under the leaves of a fern plant, almost invisible, was a small weathered wooden box. It wasn't buried, just hidden. Michael's hands trembled a little as he picked it up. It was light. He slowly lifted the tiny lid. Inside, nestled on a bed of soft red velvet, was a small, shiny red toy car. It was a convertible with tiny silver wheels and sleek, perfect lines. It wasn't gold or jewels, but to Michael, it was the most wonderful treasure in the world. It was a perfect adventure car. Just then, the front door opened. Grandpa stood there, a warm smile on his face. "Find something interesting, adventurer?" he asked, his eyes twinkling. Michael held up the box. "I found the treasure, Grandpa." Grandpa chuckled. "Ah, so you did. I wondered when someone would find that old map. That little car was your father's favorite toy when he was your age. He used to pretend it could fly over orange groves and zoom across tiny bridges." Michael looked from the shiny car to his grandpa's smiling face. The treasure wasn't just the toy car. It was the map his grandpa had drawn just for him. It was the adventure through the glowing orange grove and over the froggy bridge. It was the secret corners of the yard he'd never seen before. He realized the treasure map hadn't led him to a faraway land. It had shown him the magic that was right here, all along. That evening, as the sun set in streaks of pink and orange, Michael sat on the porch steps with his grandpa, the shiny blue car in his hand. He learned that you don't need to travel across the world to have an adventure. Sometimes, the greatest treasures are found in the simplest places, like a grandparent's backyard, with a little bit of imagination and a whole lot of love. And that, my friends, is the best kind of treasure there is. Thank you so much for joining Michael on his treasure hunt today. Wasn't that fun? If you want to go on more amazing adventures with us, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We have so many more stories to share with you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell. More songs are waiting at Little Melody Cottage.